Let's see how you can package your information together to make a good, simple space analysis and report. I'm doing my one space file. You'll need to do it on all of them. So, best practice is you put in a heading. That way, when you do and you put it up here, you double click up above the header line and type your stuff in. If somebody needs a screen reader, they'll be able to go right to that and know what it is. So put your work in a header, your title. You can if you want, which is a good idea, to give the first one a title. Okay? And so that sort of sets you, and you can leave these left, or you can go over to center justify it. But that way, that's a very professional, ADA compliant way to start a report. And then for each section, you're going to put it under a heading 1. So if you highlight the section, see there's heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, so on and so forth. But these are all going to be heading 1s so that the screen reader can jump to those immediately if you're working with somebody visually impaired, or if you're bookmarking, or somebody wants to do some quick find. So I put schedules first, and these are really cool. They call them chips. Excel or Word has these. I don't know what they call them in Word, but this is in Google. So if you go insert a smart chip, you can put in a file, and it'll go find a bunch of files that you might be interested in. Okay, and so these are all those ones that I have over here. You can go look for those too. But see how nice and easy that is to get to. It's a link directly to the file so that somebody can go right to it. Click, click, click. And it's a nicer way than seeing all the links. They're really just links, but they call them chips. They go to another file. Here's another one for our reports. So I put my duct report in here, and I'm going to show you how to make all these in just a moment. But here, and again, this was a CSV. And then I put in my visual checks that I had done. And again, this is a heading. This is just text. I could have put this in as like a subheading or something like that, but I think it's fine just to have it as text. And I did put a border around it. Now, one really good thing to do is to put alt text in here. This is your best practices. And you can say what the system browser is. Revit system browser shows all mechanical HVAC components in the design file. And you would do that on each one of these. These are best practices. Many companies do not want to follow this because it takes extra time. It is only required if you are doing work that is going to be published to the web to the public, not for use by your own group or behind a firewall or a password. So many government jobs require this, especially if it's a bid proposal. Okay, so, but you might as well get used to that now. So it's right click, alt text, right click, alt text, and you can give it a title and say what it is. Okay, so that sort of gives you what you need. I don't know if you can do alt text on these. I don't think so. Okay, there you go. That's how you make a good, high standard quality, industry standard report. that you could hand over to somebody that says, okay, I've done the design. Here's where everything was. Might want one other. You might want to put in your air terminal design sheet. You can put that. I want to make these ones just a little bit smaller. I can save myself a little bit more room. And I can put in one more here, and I don't have my centering proper. Heading 1. And this could be my air sizing estimate. And let's see if I can find that chip for that one. I'm not very good with chips yet. Air terminal design spreadsheet. There, I got it. And then let's get rid of this last page. That would be the last one that you've done. Okay, so I put everything in one spot so that I can find it easily in my Google Drive, and I've done this good stuff. Let's see how to make some of those. If I've got a duct schedule or a schedule, let me go to my air terminal schedule. I go to File, Export, down here, Reports. I can export reports. I haven't saved my project, so I need to do that. So there it goes, and it lets me do it, and I do it. I choose CSV, comma, separated variables. It's very easy to import and export. So that's how I get my terminals and my duct pressure and my mechanical equipment and my duct schedule. So I've got those ones all done. I can do the same thing with my reports. So now if I come back to my system browser, let me go to 3D view. If I go to my system browser, I can do a duct pressure loss report. That's just a really good thing to know about. Tells me all sorts of this good stuff. I can move some off, but these are all things people want to know. This is what ASHRAE and all the big companies and organizations want to have. So I'll generate this, and I'll generate again as a CSV, duct pressure loss report, and save. And yeah, I'll replace it. Yes. Oh, didn't do it for me. Not sure why I didn't do it. There it goes. Didn't want to replace that one. Okay, and then it comes up like this, and that's a CSV. So you can just close it, and you know that you've got it. It's kind of cool. Very, very nice report to have. What were some of the other reports that we had? Needed to be able to see. Showed you the schedules. I showed you the report. And these are just image snips. So I just went to each one of these. So this would be a really good one. This would be my system browser. Remember, I saw that from View, User Interface, System Browser, and I changed it to Mechanical. So I just took a snip of that. Another thing is this thing called the System Inspector. If I open that and I select my system, I can inspect it. And it tells me where things are flowing, and I can go and get pressure losses. Red means that I'm above the average for the static pressure. And you don't have to know what that is. Blue is below. It doesn't matter. But if it's red, it means that I can probably reduce the size to make it more efficient and more effective. Okay, so I can reduce the size when it's red, and when it's blue, I may consider increasing, or I'm in pretty good shape. I usually like to have them red right now so that we can go back, add things if I need to, make adjustments, but it's always easier to reduce the size of your first draft than it is to increase the size of your first draft. So I, in general, use things big on the first time through, hand it over to the professionals that are going to do the high level refinement, and then reintegrate that in with smaller stuff. So there we go. So you can take a snip of that. You don't need the you don't need the tags. See what else was on there. System browsers and our duct disconnects, which you've also already seen. So I can finish this, and we can go to analyze and show the disconnects for ducting. Okay, I'm going to turn it off now because I don't need it anymore. Okay, so that's in a nutshell how you do your reports.